G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach providing SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present the round two review for AFL SuperCoach 2025. And yeah, before I get started on anything, I will apologize because I am feeling a bit under the weather today. Started feeling something on Sunday, and then yeah, all of a sudden I just started feeling a bit sore in the throat and a bit sniffly. So if I do sniff and drink water throughout this episode, do apologize, but there's not much I can do. So I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can, which is probably a good thing the way I went this round. But yeah, just thought I'd give you guys a heads up. And just before we start as well, I went to Essen Adelaide over the weekend, and it was fantastic to catch up with some of the content creators out there. And who did I catch up with? It was Joe from the Centre Bounce, Supercoach Horse, Swizz, uh, Freo Tragic on Twitter. He's an absolute legend. Shout out to Dan. He's a ripper. My housemate came along for the ride. Also saw, I really hope I don't forget anyone. I saw DR. Uh, Shout out to DR. He's a beauty. Supercoach God. George, JD, all the crew. It was fantastic. So it was great to catch up with them. We usually try to do like an annual catch up with everyone, and obviously the FT TV crew as well. No was there as well. So yeah, it was really cool to catch up with anyone. And I do apologize if I forget anyone, but yeah, no. So that was a really good time. And also just before yeah, all just a bunch of lads. I think that's why the Supercoach community is so successful, is just how many good people there are in the community. There's 99% of the Supercoach community is great people, and that's why it's a great thing to be a part of. So that was really good. And before I get started, make sure you follow me on TikTok, SDS_SuperCoach, and also on Twitter, Stephen D.W. Smith, where I post a lot of my content on there as well. Let's get into the round review. So, this time last week, I was up and about, pretty happy with how the side's looking. And a week changes a lot of things. And we're now 1,853 scoring this round, which is a round score 49K worse than last week. And we've now dropped 13,700 spots to a season rank of 26,070. So obviously a very poor round on my end. As I said, a week changes a lot in SuperCoach. A week goes really fast, and the gap and the difference between how I was feeling about my side in round one to now is dramatically different. And it all took just a few things to happen. So at least I'm going good in draft. I think I'm 2-0 in I don't think I've lost a draft matchup so far. So very happy with how my drafts are going. Let's talk some SuperCoach. A lot of negatives. So I'll try to keep them as summarized as possible. Harry Sheezel, if you went against Harry Sheezel, fair play to you. I was saying on Twitter, you got a lot of cojones to not start Harry Sheezel, and I think if you didn't start him, that is a great result because he is about to plummet in price, 170, 52 and 55% CBAs. So yeah, I was sort of, this mildly frustrates me because I was mildly tempted to not start Sheasel, but I think it was more due to the lack of defensive options where I probably would have gone a Tom Stewart or whatever the case may be. So that was a bit so it's a bit frustrating, Sheasel, but everyone has him, so you go down on that ship together. Matty Roberts, one of the only good mid-price rookie players in defence, so 115. I think the role's tremendous. He gets the ball on a string in that back line, so that was brilliant. Yeah, as I said, sorry if I'm going to do that throughout the podcast. Jaden Short, 71. So I didn't see the Port Adelaide Richmond game. We were at the Sporting Globe. Good time. That was good fun. 71. So I'm trying to. So I was looking on my lunch break today. I was having a look at the DFS kick-in stats because I was just curious. I was just looking at them. Jaden Short took one kick in. And that's not what I signed up for. I get it. Richmond have some of these other names in there, and I just thought, yeah, yep, cool, good for them. Congratulations. Just thought Short would be the main man. But yeah, this is yeah, the vibe. I was feeling fine after the Carlton game with Jaden Short, but now it's looking a wee bit dodgy because we were just hoping for these Richmond smashings for this pick to be successful, and they got smashed, and he took one kick in, and he scored a 71. So his break even now is at a 94, and I am going to hold one more week purely because they got St Kilda. Yeah, he we're gonna give him one more week to just prove his case because if he can't match that against St Kilda of all teams, one of the sides that leak the most for defenders, like Connor O'Sullivan got an 88 against St Kilda over the weekend. If he can't get that, if he can't match his break even, or even just like score a 90 plus, then that's just, yeah, nah, not good enough. Got to go type of areas. So, yeah, I'm not feeling as good with the short pick. Harry Perryman, 57. It changed when McGuinness unfortunately did his ACL, which made them make the sub early. Ned Long's sub, and Ned Long can he was on Hawthorn's list. Ned Long can only play midfield. And that meant that they just moved Perryman to the back line. Zero CBAs attended. He has to go. He has to go. So, dud pick. That's okay. I just held him for another week just to triple check. And yeah, he's just gotten worse and worse each game. So yeah, time to go. Jackson Pry, he's not a good footballer, is he? I saw Western Adelaide fairly well. He just looks like a poor player. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets dropped shortly, but 57's not too bad for what he's priced at. I mean, it's not great. But yeah, it's whatever. Frustrating hold. Bo Allen might have to go this week. I don't think he's going to be a rookie that's going to kill me when he eventually makes his debut. So we just need to move on some of these guys that just aren't playing. He could easily make his debut this week, but probably a guy where I'd just like to move off from and just get the cash generation flowing there, especially with a couple of these guys that are getting dropped and all that. Zach Reed, 36. Yeah, he's slowly integrating into the AFL system, so it'll take him a bit. He's a hold, I guess. Luke Trainer got St Kilda, so I might field him. But yeah, he's another player off to a slow start, but we're now starting to get some defensive rookies to save the day. In the midfield, we got Andy Brayshaw, 106, who looked fine again. Didn't get tagged this time. I guess Sydney are a tough midfield to crack, but yeah, 106. Um, I don't think he's looked terrible, but he hasn't looked what his price tag is, sort of levels. So Brayshaw usually gets off to slow starts each season, so I should have seen this coming, man. But I think he's fine. Like you just hold. I got West Coast this week. I'm really gonna need a 110 plus out of him. Prove your worth, Brayshaw. Christian Petrarca, 78. So he I honestly reckon he looks fine. It's just I thought he looked really good against GWS. For the North Melbourne game, he just played so much forward compared to the last game. 48% CBAs for Christian Petrarca. And they just weren't, unless I read the game wrong, they just weren't putting him in the midfield when the game was on the line. And that was just super frustrating. So, yeah, 78's obviously not a great result. But if he gets forward DPP, then it's fine at the end of the day. But yeah, you'd hope he gets it. You either play full-time midfield Petrarca or you give me forward status. Not in between. I need one of the two to make this pick work. Connor Rozee, 130. One of the only shining lights on my SuperCoach week was Rozee captaincy. So that was a great result. 130. We take that. Fantastic game out of Connor Rozee. So he's been successful thus far. 529K. Yeah, love to see it. So shout out to Rosie. Clary is back. We love to see it. So 130, brilliant. Just such a great value option for this year. So very happy with that. Yeah, I think he can do 105 to 110, which would be a great result. Adam Cerra at 113. So again, 52% CBAs, which is fine. And then spending a bit of time off half back. So just keep getting those scores in. That'd be fantastic, Cerra. So keep it up, mate. Riley Sanders, I know it's a dud pick. I know it's a dud pick. But I might actually hold him for one more week, which is, I know it sounds bizarre. I get it. Um, I can't stand the way he plays. Yeah, I mean, good talent, but gee, just floats around like a fairy all game. Like that's just what really annoys me when you compare it to like a Joel Frazier, he just looks the much better player than Sanders, and yeah, he'd like to get a wriggle on soon because the eye test in his first last season wasn't great. Second season so far is not great at all. Yeah, so it's break even 64, so I don't expect him to lose too much money, but I know it's a dud pick. I'll I probably need his money to when we get to this situation, which I'll get to. I didn't talk about trades, my apologies, and vice captain captain. So I went vice captain to Conning into Rosie. It was either this or Rosie into probably Sheasel, and I think I chose the right combination. It wouldn't matter because I would have taken Rosie anyway. But yeah, I think it's just a quick reminder for me because I saw Sheasel as probably my fourth, fifth best option for captaincy, and I saw Sheasel as my favorite option out of my players for this week. DeConning as my second. So I was thinking, well, VC my first option, and then whatever works, I'll just play Sheasel. But sometimes, just regardless of the situation, regardless of what order it's in, you just pick your two best, which is for me was, in my opinion, was DeConning and Rosie. So just a reminder for me, just go with your two best options. Don't go too cute with vice captain, your best option. And if that fails, oh crap. Um, and then so my trades were, so who was this? I forgot. Bloody hell, man. Um, I did Elijah Hewitt via Hugo Garcia, and I did Sam Powell Pepper to Levi Ashcroft. And the Powell Pepper move was probably stupid. You pick him because of that early season run where they got Richmond. So that was stupid on my end, but I didn't know what else to do. In hindsight, should have been Finn O'Sullivan, but I just preferred the role of O'Sullivan, but we'll get to him. Levi Ashcroft 72 looks comfortable at the level. Doubt he'll be sub. Mitch Nevitt, I thought, did a lot better than a 58. He looked good in my eyes, and I don't think he's at risk here. I think he's a good rookie to have on field. Finn O'Sullivan, so we knew the risk of him not being an accumulator in the draft, and it's come to fruition here. Took a couple of kickouts for North, but just isn't the accumulative type. So 42. Um, if it wasn't for the very recent injury news of this man, Elijah Sardis. So Elijah Sardis went 78, but unfortunately, I think so the original report was a broken hand, but now it's a broken finger. So I think they said he'll be back gather round, which is round 5, and that's extremely awkward. So I actually don't really know what to do with that situation. I mean, Sardis can't be used as a loop this week. I mean, loops, I'm trying my best not to think about early in the season, just prioritize cash gen. O'Sullivan's really not going to make much, is he? So maybe it's better off having Sardis, but what if O'Sullivan has a spike game or when you've moved him off and you're holding Sardis for 2 weeks, not making money. So just a bit of a juggling act at this stage, but yeah, hopefully, so Sardis should be back for gather round, and Finn O'Sullivan just isn't making money or too much money. Lucas Camporiali, 52, got subbed out, but I think his job security is pretty good, because I think he's taken the wing spot of Ollie Hollands. Now let's head into the real carnage, which is, and you thought you didn't see much carnage. Let's get into it. Tom DeConning 104 got robbed of a goal for Carlton. Gee, I'm a Hawks man, but Carlton got a bit stitched up by the umpiring. I still thought we were the better team, but Carlton, similar to the Essendon game last week, I thought Essendon and Carlton were robbed of some momentum swings there. So yeah, DeConning, bit stiff not to get that goal. Matty Flynn is an interesting talking point. So obviously got dropped this weekend, and that obviously didn't. Flynn R2 obviously hasn't turned out too well. And yeah, it's the risk, This was probably worst case scenario of what happened, and it happened. And do I regret it? No. Like, this is probably the duo I wanted since January. I thought the 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 best case scenario for this situation was would have been a monumental success, getting 200K and then swapping to a Gorn who's about to drop money, a Kieran Briggs. That's just how I sort of saw it. Obviously I don't know how to predict what players are going to drop and whatnot, but the idea of just Flynn stay in the side till round 6 or 7, then I could just do that 100K swap to one of these rucks that drop in cash. And unfortunate that it happened. You live and you learn. I don't regret it. This is the duo I wanted since January, but it just didn't work out in the end. I don't think he's coming back this week. I know people are saying, Bailey Williams got cramp and all that stuff, but Bailey Williams looks so much better than Flynn did in round 1. So the only way they bring in Flynn is if this, because I did see some strapping on his hamstring on the bench during parts of the broadcast. And okay, was this worse than cramp? I doubt it. They would have said something about it. We'll find out very soon if it's anything worse, but fairly certain it is cramp. And yeah, so it's either that or okay, we want a ruck that can run out the game, which I don't even know if Flynn can, but yeah, I don't expect Flynn to come back into the side. And honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm going to fix the issue this week as well. Just due to Max Gorn's 67, I think I might just hold off for one more week, let Gorn drop in price, and pick him up for the Cats game at GMHBA going up against DeConning or Reece Stanley. I think that's probably the way to go about it. Harry Boyd got dropped. We just hold him there. I don't know. You don't swap to an Archer Reed or anything. What's the point in that? So it's whatever. Also, part of the reason, if worst case scenario was to happen, part of the reason I also picked Flynn was knowing that it's best 18, where it can be covered. It's not ideal, but it can be covered if that happens. And yeah, as I said, worst case scenario happened. And yeah, the get out plan is gone at this stage. Jason Horne-Francis 61. I thought, well, as I said, I didn't see much of the Port and Tigers game, but 48% CBAs, I believe it was for Horne-Francis. Just from what I've heard, he played so much deep forward. I think I'll watch the mini back again just to see how much it was. But yeah, obviously frustrating, especially against Richmond, one of the easier matchups. And oh gee, I'd be baffled if this pick didn't turn out the way it does. Just shows how much flexibility is being done in AFL nowadays, where they could just throw Horne-Francis forward for a random game. Mildly worried as well that they keep doing that because of some of these Port injuries in the forward line, especially with Lukosius. As I said, I was at the game at Essendon Adelaide. Rankin looked amazing. Managed, so he got subbed off. Of course he did, but that's all right. 97 looks unbelievable. So, um, early days, but at least that's a successful starting pick. Jack McRae, return of the Mac, 162, just cut sick, and that is beautiful to see. I just didn't expect this Jack McRae to be back. I thought he'd be good, but not this good. 162 is unbelievable. So, and he's got Richmond this week, so he's a very interesting vice captain or captain option, I reckon. So hard to ignore, very hard to ignore currently. Caleb Daniel, 116, just shows why we paid so cheap to get him, you know, being the main kick out man for the Roos. Elijah Hewitt, 58. I'm mildly concerned he might be dropped here. 58. So I'm mildly concerned. I don't think he ran out the game well. I thought Clay Hall was fantastic for the Eagles. So I brought him in and he might turn dead. I don't know. There's sub risk written all over it. I don't know. Really hope he can stay in the side. But I thought he looked good to start the game, but just faded out as the game went on. Kind of stoned in play, had the bye. And I think I'm one of the few content creators that has Bailey Smith. And he's done his calf, so he missed this week's game. They're hopeful for him to be back, so I think he's a test to play against Brisbane. I am skeptical if he's going to play because the 6 day break the following week, and maybe they'll just rather him not travel, and he faces Melbourne at GMHBA. So I don't know. I'm not sold on him playing, but you hope he does, and just hope he's all good. Sam Davidson, 72, MCG, big ground, big wings, helped him out big time. This score will fluctuate. Nathan O'Driscoll, I think, attended one or two CBAs as compared to 68% the previous week. But I thought, yeah, he looks fantastic and he's probably one of the best rookies we're going to have this season. So very happy with that. I've rambled on a fair bit there, so I'll keep it short and sweet. Yeah, I need to work on my ability to just wrap up stuff quicker. Sometimes I feel like I talk for too long. So let's really quick talk about trades. Vice captain and captain, I'm not too sure. I'm not doing previews anymore for my side on YouTube just because I think I'd rather have probably an adjustment I've tried to make for my content this year. And I eventually learn it, and you get all advice from all these content creators who you watch before you become a content creator, like DR and all these blokes, and just absolute legends. So yeah, the adjustment I'm trying to make is I want the round reviews to be the only time I talk about my team. You obviously want to help out the community, and that's where you get the more views and all that, and the more support. So yeah, this will probably be the only time week in, week out where you see my team. The rest I'll be doing my best to help out the community and just stuff that they need to know rather than talk about my own side. So in terms of um trades, I think I'm actually going to hold Flynn for one more week and just wait for Gorn to drop in price uh, for round 4 against the Cats at GMHBA. Hope Gorn's doing all good. Really crap of Simon Goodwin in my eyes. I don't know why you would say that in a post-game interview, especially when Max Gorn didn't even know that Simon Goodwin was going to say anything. So yeah, we hope Gorn's all good, but obviously something probably he didn't want to be shared. From what I'm looking, I'm probably doing Bo Allen, Harry Perryman, and it's either Sardis or Finn O'Sullivan. I can't figure out which one to do. Sardis is out till round 5, probably. Finn O'Sullivan's not making too much money. I guess Finn O'Sullivan's playing at least, but Sardis is break even. Oh, that is extremely tough. Parish will be back at Parish will be back by then. Parish will be back. So is Sardis sub risk? I think we got to do Sardis, man. I think we got to do Sardis. I hate to do it, but who knows what's going to happen when he comes back. I thought he was good against Adelaide, but you never know what's going to happen there. So a defender, and a mid. So, and we got to remember at the same time, we need to keep a little bit of money in the bank to get Flynn to go on next week. And that's also using Riley Sanders' money and someone else. So I think for me, the midfielder, sorry, is Xavier Lindsay, 156K. Sorry, 158K. A rookie I was hot on just didn't show enough signs in pre-season for me to go, yeah, I'm sold, but he's an absolute ripper. I think Connor O'Sullivan, I think we just need to adjust some of these rookies here. So he scored an 88. Got the Rising Star as I'm recording this. So shout out to Connor O'Sullivan. Little concern with college as niche, but that is okay. We can adjust that. And then at here, I think so we then get a choice of what primo defender we want to go for. Ryan's dropping, Sanders isn't playing yet. Midfield, I think that's just uh, uh I'm not extremely sold by the cash generation this season. I'm not extremely sold. I think it's fine, but I think Gorn realistically, just because it needs to fill a gap, I really want him to be the only guy I'm paying big dollars for because I I want to get 25, 20, 26 as a reach, 25 premiums this year. So 23 on field and then two on the bench. So that means just hunting value. And then guys like Tom Stewart and Kieran Briggs, I'm really keeping my eye on over the next few weeks as they drop a lot in price. So it's tough to go a Zorko, a Whitfield, a Sinclair in my eyes. Jordan Clark is interesting. What's his break even? 88. Okay. I think he'll be attainable at some stage. Holmes, I'm not sold on just yet. I think he's a massive tag target. Nas, I just find it a very boring pick, but it's fine. So I'm actually quite keen on Bailey Dale. I think from what I watched on Friday night, that defender role is just filthy. So I think this is what I'm looking at this stage. 104K in the bank. Use Sanders' money next week, Flynn's money. Try to get to Gorn and two rookies next week. So that's probably a Riley Bice. And then whatever, maybe a Jack Henderson, that type of thing. So yes, something like this. Vice. So yeah, again, it mildly hurts having 22 on field instead of 23, but it's sort of saved by best 18, but still it's not ideal. So I'm going to be honest, I'm actually not expecting to have a good week again this week. That's okay. That's okay. It's just part of the long-term project here. So what are we gonna do? And also, I'll actually, if Bowen, I was actually originally thinking of just doing Perryman to Connor O'Sullivan, but then I realized, wait. I don't want rookie defenders on field, so I couldn't do that. Um, how are we setting up the team? So Roberts will be used as a loop. I think my three best options this week for vice captain and captain is Jack McRae, Tom DeConning, and Andrew Brayshaw. And I'm just trying to think. So I just need to determine which is the second best and third best. I think TDK against English, surely he feasts. But maybe English can match him around the ground because they're somewhat similar ruckman. Um, I, ugh, I think I definitely want Jack McRae involved. Look, for now we'll go Jack Mc. For now we'll go DeConning into Jack McRae. But this could easily be McRae into Brayshaw or DeConning into Brayshaw. Still need to figure that out. So we'll use Reed as a loop on Thursday night, and if we don't take that, then we put Trainer on field. Um, we can. I know we. Well, one thing I can actually do. So we'll see if Bailey Smith gets named. We can use some loops here or whatever the case may be. I'll figure the team out here. So roughly something like this. Something roughly like this. Hopefully it pays off. We just can't afford to. I guess rankings don't really matter because they can fluctuate so easily. I'm probably 200 points behind being inside the top 10K. So it's not a massive deal. And just before I go, let's head into some of the leagues. So we'll just check the SDS Super Leagues here. So Mark of the Year, Riley, he finds a way into my leagues every year. So share to him. Minimum chips, Paul, share to you. Stuart and Shack of Sit. Faye in there. Have I won? Yes, I'm 11th. That's all right. Shout out to you guys. And then also on SDS Super League 2, we have got um wow, Truffles of Greatness, 357 overall rank. Shout out to you. Uh Jack as well, 622 ranked. Shout out to you as well. Great result there. Um and let's have a look. Sorry, let's just have a look at if there's anyone super highly ranked here. SDS Super League 2 is going better than the original SDS Super League. So get your game up, fellas, in that league. Thank you guys so much for watching. Probably rambled on for too long, but that's all right. Like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate all support. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.